You think wealth begins when the numbers get big. It doesn't. It begins the moment money stops depending on your labor and starts following its own instructions. At first, it looks small, almost too small to matter. A little cash sitting in an account. A transfer that happens in the background. A few dollars of interest that feel almost insulting when you finally notice them. You look at the result and think, this is nothing. But that is the mistake almost everyone makes in the beginning. They judge the outcome too early. They measure the seed like it was supposed to look like a forest. In the early stage, nothing about progress feels dramatic. Your paycheck comes in, bills go out, life keeps asking for more. Rent, food, fuel, subscriptions, emergencies, things you forgot, things you didn't plan for. You tell yourself you will save what is left. Most months, not much is left. Then one day, you do something different. You stop treating saving like a leftover decision. You automate it. A fixed amount leaves your account every month before you can negotiate with yourself. It is not exciting. It is not glamorous. It will not impress anyone. But that one decision changes the direction of your entire financial life. Now, something has started. Quietly, invisibly, without applause. At first, all you have is discipline. Not wealth, not leverage, not status, just discipline. You begin to understand that financial growth is less about brilliance and more about repetition. The amount is small, but the behavior is powerful. You are building proof. Proof that you can delay consumption. Proof that you can think beyond this week. Proof that you can give your future self a vote in the decisions you make today. Then you take the next step. You move from storing money to putting money to work. You open an investment account. You buy something simple. Broad market exposure. Diversified. Boring. Exactly the kind of thing people ignore because it does not sound like a shortcut. You invest your first amount and stare at the screen like something dramatic should happen. Nothing does. That is another lesson. Real wealth rarely announces itself when it begins. The gains are small in the beginning, so small they almost feel imaginary. But now you are no longer just earning and spending. You are participating. Your money is no longer parked. It is in motion. It is attached to businesses, productivity, growth, dividends, reinvestment, time. And time is the part most people keep underestimating. They think compounding is a bigger version of simple growth. It isn't. It behaves differently. It starts slowly, then it begins to fold back into itself. It builds on what it already built. It gains momentum from its own existence. Then the market drops. This is where the story usually changes for people, not because they lack intelligence, but because they lack emotional preparation. Everyone says they want long-term returns. Fewer people want the volatility that comes with them. Your portfolio falls, red numbers replace green ones. Suddenly, the future feels less theoretical and more threatening. Your hand moves toward the sell button. This is the real test. Not whether you can invest when it feels good, whether you can stay invested when it feels bad. You pause, you breathe, you do nothing. That moment matters more than your first deposit ever did. Because now you are not just learning how returns work, you are learning how fear works. And if you cannot manage fear, you will sabotage compounding long before compounding has a chance to reward you. So you hold. Better yet, you keep buying. Not because you enjoy pain. Because you finally understand that lower prices are not a personal attack. They are part of the process. Years pass. Your income grows. Your contributions increase. What once felt difficult becomes automatic. Retirement accounts get funded. Employer matches are captured. Expensive mistakes are reduced. You stop chasing noise. You stop looking for the perfect stock, the secret play, the one move that will make you rich faster than discipline can. You realize that most people are not losing because they picked the wrong asset. They are losing because they cannot stay consistent long enough for the right process to matter. Then your first major milestone arrives. Maybe it is 10,000, maybe 50, maybe 100,000. The number itself matters less than what it reveals. For the first time, the growth is not coming mostly from what you put in. Some of it is coming from what is already there. Your money is beginning to carry part of the load. This is where the relationship changes. You no longer see every dollar as spending power. You start seeing it as a worker. A small employee you can either consume today or employ for decades. That is when your behavior sharpens. Fees matter now. Taxes matter now. Allocation matters now. You become less impressed by excitement and more interested in efficiency. You understand that a careless percentage can quietly destroy an astonishing amount of future wealth. So you optimize, not obsessively, intelligently. You simplify where complexity adds no value. You automate where emotion causes damage. You rebalance not because it feels clever, but because structure matters more than mood. People begin to notice changes in you, though not always the right ones. Some call you lucky, some assume you found a secret, some want recommendations that sound thrilling enough to repeat at dinner. You give them the truth, but the truth is too plain to be satisfying. Spend less than you earn, invest consistently, diversify, stay in the game, ignore the circus, let time do the heavy lifting. It sounds almost disappointing, but reality often does when compared to fantasy. Then comes the stage very few people talk about honestly. Once capital reaches a certain threshold, the experience changes again. Opportunity becomes less about access to information and more about access to structure. You begin to think differently about liquidity, taxes, risk, protection, legacy. You stop asking only how much can this earn and start asking what does this unlock? More options, better terms, better advisors, better resilience. Time itself begins to feel different when money is generating enough to cover mistakes, absorb volatility, and create patience. At higher levels, the mechanics expand. Your portfolio may produce cash flow, appreciation, tax advantages, collateral value, and optionality all at once. You are no longer reacting to life with only a paycheck. Capital becomes a tool that changes negotiation, timing, tolerance, and freedom. A downturn that destroys one person becomes an entry point for another, not because the second person is smarter, because they have buffers, margin, structure, staying power. And this is the part nobody explains to beginners clearly enough. Compounding is not just a mathematical phenomenon, it is a behavioral and structural one. Good decisions compound, skills compound, relationships compound, credibility compounds, access compounds, even peace compounds. The more stable your base becomes, the more thoughtfully you can move. The less desperate you are, the better your decisions get. And the better your decisions get, the less chaos you need to recover from later. Eventually, if you stay with it long enough, money becomes quieter in your life. Not because it disappeared, but because panic did. Urgency did. The constant feeling of starting over did. You are no longer making every decision from survival. You are making decisions from design. You think beyond next month, beyond next year, beyond your own lifetime. Protection matters. Transfer matters. What continues after you matters. That is when wealth stops being a number and becomes architecture. A system. A rhythm. A set of choices made so consistently that they begin to outlive the moods that created them. And if you trace it all the way back, none of it started with some giant breakthrough. It started with something small enough to ignore. One transfer. One contribution. One decision made without drama. That was the moment the mechanism turned on. That was always the point. Not the first interest payment, not the first big return, not the first milestone that made the account finally look impressive. The point was that you built something that could continue without needing constant permission from your impulses. Somewhere right now, someone is making that first small move. It feels ordinary, it looks forgettable, nobody around them understands what it could become. Maybe they do not fully understand it either. But the amount was never the story. The story is that a machine has just been switched on. And if they protect it, feed it, and refuse to interrupt it, one day it will carry more than their money. It will carry their options, their freedom, their time, and eventually the shape of the life they get to live.